My name is Estella Owoimaha-Church. I teach English and theater in South Los Angeles. We are focused on offering up really good suggestions. And Speak Truth to Power is a great resource and tool that I go straight to when I'm looking to make sure that my kids have windows and mirrors. Windows and mirrors is this idea in education that children deserve to see themselves in everything it is that they study, but also a very authentic way of viewing other people or being introduced to other perspectives and worldviews. If there is a unit that doesn't have enough in it, I can go straight to, a defender, find one that fits this content or this topic, and plug them in. The Speak Truth to Power lessons that my kids resonate with the most are the young people. So their favorite by far is Malala Yousafzai. Students are absolutely and immediately inspired and full of fire to support her cause or other causes, like it. What are some of your initial thoughts or concepts that you Giving students the whole picture and context and making sure that they see themselves and their history and heritage in that story is an important part of my job. For them to truly be inquisitive and curious about the world, that motivation has to come from within. And that motivation comes from within when they feel deeply connected to the learning process. And as long as that process stays relevant and authentic, they'll stay resilient and push through whatever the challenge is. To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
If you came to my classroom, you're gonna see happy chaos. It's loud and kids are doing stuff all over the place, but learning is happening, creativity is happening. The rules of improv comedy are what guide our process a lot of the time. So whether we are doing improv comedy, whether it's about a service project or preparing for a competition, our 3 rules are pretty simple. It is don't deny, watch each other's back, make each other look good. We're always working to support one another and making sure that everybody's voice on the team is heard and elevated. So most of these characters are real people or should be based on real people. So part of your job or your task is going to be to figure out who they actually were. The other resource or material that I use probably the most, and that's the play, Speak Truth to Power, Voices from Beyond the Dark. We produced the play at our school for our fall show, and that was my kids' first real interaction with these defenders. Some of these defenders have gone through some tremendous trials, and sometimes it can trigger past traumas and pains because they absolutely relate to these defenders and they find relevance and meaning in these defenders' narratives. It can be painful to work through those stories, but those narratives can really help inspire students to make a difference. Don't feel limited. Human rights education, it's also a way to make your spaces interdisciplinary. If you are a science teacher, then a great thing to do would be to bring in a Speak Truth to Power lesson on Wangari Maathai. And there's an entire lesson there that includes environmental justice, social justice, but also science and math and English, even children's literature and art. It doesn't quite matter, in my opinion, what content you actually teach, because your job is not to necessarily teach just the content. Your job is to serve kids. Whether it's math, science, or English, that in that space, they feel whole and loved and safe and free to express themselves and are empowered to act. She is really stressed out about making sure that human rights is in the classroom is really about treating every single student like a human being and honoring every part of who they are, and wherever those intersections might lie, whether race, gender, sexual orientation, identity, everything you do has to be about the whole child. Every single person has a role, and Shakespeare said it, there's no such thing as a small part. Act well your part, for all the world is a stage.